And good morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. Lovely morning outside. So I'll tell you what, we haven't had too many good Saturday mornings over the last 6 to 8 weeks, have we? When we just come out and it was nice and sunshiny and crisp and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We've had some different kind of weather. You know, there for 3 weekends in a row, we had snow or ice, three in a row.
Remember that run?
And then
Well, you know what they say, March comes
Sloppy
in like
wet.
a lion.
Yep.
Goes out like a lamb.
Well, no, it does one or the other.
Yeah.
If it comes in,
I think
like
it's
a
come in
lion.
like a lion.
Do you?
Well, there's been a few roars like today, for instance.
Where's the, you know, we're supposed to have, not that I want them, but we were supposed to have strong winds with this.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I have yet to see or hear any strong winds. Not
Yeah.
that I want them.
Although I did see a tree uprooted up on coming up this way. On
Somebody got strong winds then.
Old 321.
You sure it wasn't just cut down? It was.
No, it was root.
Okay.
It was one of those root jobs. you know.
Old 321.
Well, what do they call it now?
Yeah, I know.
321
Yeah.
business?
Yep.
It has a formal name, doesn't it? 151 or
155.
155.
Is what it was. But I don't even know if I've ever seen any signs that indicate
I neither.
155. I think now it says, I don't know. I'm not even going to say.
I just call it old
US 321 business? Is that on there?
That's
Is that
probably more appropriate.
Yep. Well, it was slow and go a couple days ago with a pretty major wreck on the big 321. It made all the traffic divert to old 321, and it was a long, slow ride.
Yeah, I encountered that coming up here Thursday.
Yeah.
I switched.
Been
with,
worse if you'd going the other way.
Oh
I
God,
guess.
yeah. Oh, I saw.
You probably saw it.
I saw back up for miles.
Yes,
and I was just cruising along, heading north. You know, and everybody else was
over there in the parking lot, as they call it now.
parking lot.
It's basically a parking lot.
It looked like an LA freeway or something.
You know, for the what is basically right now what would you call this part of the college basketball season, the heart of the college basketball season, the hot spot, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, where we are right now in the college basketball season, because over the next 2 days, this is Saturday. Over the next 2 days, we have a ton. I guess 3 days. There'll even be some on Monday, right or not?
No.
Can't be.
No.
Can't be because of Selection Sunday.
I mean, you'll have some tournament championship games Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
The Big Ten for one, and then you'll have the selection show.
But it is right in the middle, right in the heart of the basketball season.
yeah.
The turning point for a lot of teams. You know. But there's a lot of sports to talk about today, including Major League Baseball, who's finally signed on the dotted line.
And I want to talk about one major rule change, which was artificial last year, and they got rid of it. It was putting the runner on second base to start extra innings.
And they did do away with it?
They did. Heard that on the way up. What do you guys think about it? I mean, you got to be back to a couple 17-inning games every now and then.
I like the runner at second base.
I kind of liked it.
You know, I'm usually a traditionalist, but I like the runner at second base.
I figured you wouldn't, since you are a traditionalist.
I know, but it gives both.
Well, there were too many extra innings where nothing happened.
You really don't know till you watch it and get a feel for it. But both teams get that opportunity. And, you know, a lot of innings they would start, they'd go out there and play, and I'd forget, you know. And I'm seeing a guy, you know, either lay down a bunt to get a guy to third or something like that. And I was like, at first thoughts, what's he doing? You know, but then you realize, you know, that. And then both teams get that opportunity. It's not. Hey, it's so unlike
the NFL
overtime, right? Because both teams get an opportunity, which is coming now for the playoffs. That's another thing we could talk about.
Well, traditionalists always say, well, in baseball, the one sport is you got to earn everything. You got to earn every out. It's not on a time meter or anything.
Well, it's getting ready to be.
Getting ready to be.
Did they put that rule in place or not? Pitch clock.
Yes.
Did they?
Yes.
I thought I had saw, but that was one of the things that was coming into play.
Speed up the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long is the clock? And when does it start?
That I can't tell you. I don't know.
You know.
We can find out.
You know, some things that went through my head were if the clock starts when the pitcher gets the ball in his hand, all the catcher's got to do is hold it for an extra 10 seconds to give him a little time. You know, I think it probably starts from the time it hits the catcher's mitt, don't you?
Could be.
You know, what would it be? 30 seconds?
I'm for that. I'm certainly for speeding up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just
a
hate it
little
come
bit.
down to. I just hate it come down to having an actual clock,
Yeah.
like a play clock,
I know.
because
Well, that's an artificiality too, introduced into the game.
because baseball has never had a clock of any kind for any reason except
No.
for youth when they give you 50 minutes or
play.
whatever, yeah, to get your game in, and even with that going on, it's not a clock that you can actually see. And I'm guessing with this clock, will it be visible? The pitch
I don't know the
clock?
mechanics.
Do we
of
know?
that.
Do we know?
Yeah, I don't know.
If it'll be visible. And you see a lot of football games where you say, God, there should have been a flag there. That was a delay of game. But I learned over the last couple of seasons that referees watch the clock run out, then look at the football. So that gives them like an extra,
Yeah.
25% of a second.
Yeah, it can hit
Happens,
zero
yeah.
and still
And I'm
snap
okay
it.
with that. Like they're doing it for everybody, right? So you wonder about baseball, how many times will it be like, very, very close? Are we going to see penalty flags thrown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A buzzer.
Yeah.
A buzzer in a baseball stadium,
Delay of game.
like a horn for subbing. I'm guessing it'll just be an umpire. Which umpire? I mean,
And what's the penalty?
you don't
for
want
that?
the guy behind the plate having to deal with that.
Yeah, do you just add a ball? Is that what it
I
is?
think it's a ball.
I don't know. That seems more artificial even than putting a guy on second to start extra innings. I don't know.
If you're going to speed up the game, you got to do
Gotta
something,
do
though,
something,
right?
Which they need to do.
But the thing is, what we're doing here, they're contradicting themselves a little bit because they want to speed up the game, yet they're okay with going 17 innings, as you said earlier. Because last year, that's one thing that was really cut down.
It was
the real long baseball games. I think average. I'm going to say most games ended in the 10th.
10
Most
to
extra,
11.
Yep, ended pretty
Yeah,
quick.
you put a guy on second with no outs. I mean, chances are. I mean, you find ways.
Well, if you
to
don't score
advance
him, you're
it.
in trouble.
Oh yeah. Because the other teams.
Most likely will. Yep. And I like that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. And it also gives you a little bit of strategy, like, do you play for the big inning because when the home team comes in, they're likely going to score at least that one and tie you up. So maybe you should just play for the big inning. I guess it depends on where you are in your batting order.
Yeah.
A lot of
So
things
to do
figure
with
in.
it.
If you're at the bottom, maybe you just try to produce that one run and take your chances, And if you have a strikeout pitcher on the mound, it makes a big difference too. If your closer's a big strikeout guy, then they're hold them scoreless. I would like to see. This would be a really good stat to know. What percentage of those guys that were put at second base scored?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total.
Well, given the analytics of today, I'm sure you could find out.
Oh yeah, probably anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Looking through some of the major headlines from overnight, and we are, definitely going to talk college basketball.
Yeah.
There were some NFL moves this week that were worth talking about.
Oh,
As we
yeah.
said, baseball is finally going to get underway. Going to start April 7th. Is that right? April 7th is opening day.
162 games
Going to play
scheduled.
162 like normal.
Yep.
I wonder, is that just like a week later than the original
Yeah.
schedule?
About a week.
Opening day? Because I never did see a schedule or no. There has been times
Yeah, I
they
don't know
started
what-
in March. But
Yeah, I think it can't be much,
it's not going to hurt to move it back a week, because think of how many games are rained out or even snowed out in that first week or two of the season.
Yeah,
so.
you always get a few of those.
Yep.
We know how it is in Boston to start the season. Right.
Yes, Boston and Detroit and
Detroit.
Minnesota and several other baseball parks.
Well,
and,
particularly Boston, that they do play outdoors, right, in Fenway. Still.
and Detroit and Minnesota.
Yeah.
They play outdoors, Mike.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
I would be willing to say that
Minnesota used to not.
yeah, Minnesota or Detroit probably has more than Boston. Boston
Yeah.
don't get as much of the snow as you'd think because it's
You're
on
right.
the coast.
You're right.
So, Detroit.
Well,
it's probably as high
Chicago
as
could be
Chicago,
bad.
yeah.
Cleveland.
Chicago's
Yeah.
got 2 outdoor stadiums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cleveland, does it really exist?
What is their new name? I can't even remember now.
Wow.
I cannot. It's not the Commanders.
No, and that's the first thing that popped in my
Yeah.
mind was the Commanders, but it does start with a C, don't it? I don't know.
It
Cleveland.
can't be the Cavaliers because that's the NBA
Guardians.
team.
Guardians, that's it.
Guardians. It just hit me. Guardians.
These names are lame.
It doesn't start
Gosh.
with a C. Somebody's already texted me.
They picked out names.
And that's worse than Commanders.
yeah, names
To
that
me,
couldn't
Guardians.
possibly offend.
But it has
anybody.
something to do with the city, right? Something to do with something that a group of Guardians maybe back in. I don't know. It's something to do with the history of the city.
Yeah,
Is the reason
I
they
don't
chose
like
it. No, I mean, would you? I'd rather be the Skunks. I mean, give me a mascot,
Yeah.
or
Well,
I'll take an animal, or
Let's go back to animal mascots. Come on.
what's the most popular animal in Cleveland? A dead possum.
Dead possum in the road, probably in
Yeah,
Cleveland.
there it comes. Lenny said Guardians. Lenny says they want to get the games over or speed it up. Well, there you go. Start the runner on second and extra innings.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to a lot of people. There are some,
yeah.
but I haven't talked to a lot of people that are just totally against starting with a guy at second base in extra innings. I know it kind of seems like a little league move or something like
Yeah,
that.
it
You know,
does.
Aren't they
But-
doing DH, National League?
Uh,
Didn't they put that rule in?
DH in the National League.
I think so.
I think so.
If so, then that is the biggest rule
Yeah.
change. Period.
It is.
I think that's
an
in
extra
place now.
position. That's an extra place for a guy
It
that that maybe wouldn't get on a roster.
Right. Yeah.
So, so how many we got? 15 new positions.
Yeah, because
there?
I've been reading stuff about the Dodgers possibly bringing back Jock Peterson because they have a DH spot now.
Mm.
Yeah,
No.
I'm pretty sure that's the new. That's
So the
new rule.
ERAs in the National League go up a little bit. They should, right, with an extra batter in the
You would
lineup.
think so.
Yeah.
And
hitter.
and people like Madison Bumgarner and some of these good hitting pitchers will be. You think that I don't even know, where is Bumgarner now?
He was in Arizona last
He
year.
vanished
I'm
into the
assuming
desert
he's-
of Arizona.
he's still
Hadn't
there.
heard from him
You know,
since.
but
I think he could be a DH. Not even
I've
pitch
always
anymore.
thought he could be a first baseman even.
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
and hit the ball. He's
If
a,
he
definitely
hit
a-
regularly and practice hitting,
According to this, they've even got. I'm just going to pick Atlanta a minute. The DH is even put in on Mars because he said universal. So, yeah.
oh, that's universal. Mhm. So we got the DH hitter on Mars.
I'm just messing. But so yes, that way you don't have to worry about which home ballpark you set your lineup for the whole year. Wonder now that as a traditionalist, I have a little more problem with
Then
than I do the runner at second base or the clock even. You know, because
because the National League was the last bastion of
it,
the traditional
but I will say this: in the long run, it all needs to be the same.
does.
You know, it
Yeah.
all needs to be the
This-
same.
this
You
thing is
play in the
switching-
same league. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
the same sport under the Major League Baseball logo. It all needs to be the same, I would think, it just made me think about something, though. That takes a roster spot, and a DH is probably going to get paid better than your 25th best player. So that means that on average, shouldn't the American League payroll have been more than the National League payroll? You know what I'm
All
saying? You
these
see what I'm
years.
getting at there? I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's just one player and probably not a big noticeable difference, but it should be. I mean, how much do people like Edgar Martinez and David Ortiz and those were your big time DHs? Who's some other ones that were just really known for being great DHs? I mean, did Martinez ever get in the Hall of Fame? Edgar?
I don't know.
Seattle. Ortiz is going in this year, right? Didn't he make it in?
I don't know about that either. I mean, I know he'll obviously get in.
A lot
if
of
it's
DHs
not,
don't.
If it's not
though.
time,
A
yeah.
lot of DHs don't. But I was just trying to think of who were some of the best DHs and who would make a good DH. Who's this going to benefit that might struggle on the defensive side, but they'd love to get their bat in the lineup, or
Well, in the future, there are some guys that have been playing in the American League that can go to the National League now that, might would have never even given that a thought before. Some guys that have been DHs in the American League.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't have really fit in the National League. Now they can go to any team they want.
Another thing comes to my mind. What team last year had a really good lineup but always had to set out a good batter because you can only bat 8?
Oh, I think the Dodgers have been really deep for several years now.
That's the first team came to my mind was the Dodgers.
Well, they had Albert Pujols last year.
But he's a good first baseman. I mean, is he
he's
losing
kinda,
it a little?
Yeah, not as quick or as
you said they
flexible
had.
as he.
They still have. Where's he now?
I don't know if he ever re-signed or what he did.
What it could do is prolong some guys' careers.
Yeah.
They may get to play a little longer because they don't have to go out there and and some guys can't handle that. I mean, there's some guys that if they don't play a position, they don't hit well.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to be involved in the game.
And you can also rotate that DH and give guys days. It's kind of like a day off. All you do is bat.
The whole thing, I'm just sitting here trying to think which National League team is this going to benefit the most.
Well, it's the ones that can spend the most money.
It
to
is.
me.
Well, then that's the Dodgers, Brett's Dodgers,
and the Giants. Giants can spend.
Speaking of the Giants,
who'd they sign yesterday?
Oh, the
Carlos
Cubs.
Rodon.
Yeah, Rodon. That's a big.
Out of NC
that's a
State.
big addition.
13-5, 2.37 ERA last season. 2-year contract, $44 million, with a 1-year opt-out after 1 year.
Know any details on that contract?
Believe me,
I like it.
It's seared in my brain.
I like it. Yeah, that's okay. Now, I'm going to ask because I don't know, and I don't want to put Mike on the spot. Brett may know more than Mike. He keeps up with that division so well. The pitching staff, what does this do for that? Who do they have now? Who are their other starting pitchers, and where does Rodon fit in? The 1, the 2, the 3?
Well, no, he won't be their 1.
Well, that's a good thing if you're the Giants.
He's probably their 2. Who was the guy last year? Didn't they have the Cy Young winner last year? Or he had to be close to it. I can't remember his name.
Tell us, Lenny. Last year's Cy Young winner, was he a San Francisco Giant? I almost said a New York Giant. Well, I go back a ways. But
Well, Johnny Cueto had a good year, right? But
I'm going to say the San Francisco Giants probably outscored the New York Giants football team in points per game.
It's give me a second. I'm going to find him here.
I'm going to read a couple. While you do that, I'm going to read a couple things here.
Logan Webb.
Logan Webb.
Oh, yeah, Logan Webb.
I would have never thought of that. I know the name, but I would have never.
And then, of course, Alex Wood, the lefty. And then Wood.
Is that an Alex Wood that used to be a Dodger or not?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Logan Webb, and then, of course, this guy, Rodon, will fill into that rotation.
Rodon had a perfect game last year or a no-hitter? Which was it? I saw him do it.
Yeah.
I watched it, but I can't remember if it's a perfect. I think it was a no-hitter. Didn't he hit somebody on the foot? He hit somebody on the foot with 2 outs in the 9th. I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That ruined his perfect game. It seems. Yeah. Guy stuck his foot out there in the way. It's probably let's see if it was the White Sox who would be their arch rival. I can't remember who they were playing that night, but I was watching it. And this guy was really, really stout when he was at NC State.
Oh yeah, he was really good. I thought he'd kind of been disappointing up until last year, and then last year he was great.
Well, he's had a history of injuries, shoulder, arm, blah, blah, blah. So I guess there's a bit of a risk.
Lenny says Webb is probably the number 1 starter for the San Francisco Giants. He also said, I like to return to 9 innings on double headers. So they're going back to 9 innings on double headers and not 7
It'll be
on
a long
double
day.
headers. He also says Bumgarner does 2 in his 7-inning no-hitter last year. So maybe that means he batted. Bumgarner should get credited with a no-hitter. There's no way you can't give – if that's all the innings you allow in the game, right? If that's the rules, you got to give a guy a no-hitter going 7 innings.
Yeah, he pitched the complete game. It wasn't his, wasn't anything he did that shortened the game.
He would have went out there in the 8th if they would have.
He probably gave up 4 runs.
That is a possibility. That is a possibility. Man, I'm going to give you a few scores here before we move forward and take our first time out. A couple NBA scores from last night. Atlanta beat the Clippers 112-106. Miami over Cleveland 117-105. Dallas over Houston 113-100. I want you to stop. Brett, you especially stop me if there's anything that's a surprise. Memphis over the Knicks 118-114. Charlotte, this surprised me, this number here, 142. Ooh. This team's been able to score points this year, haven't they?
They score a lot.
142 to New Orleans 120. San Antonio 104-102. That one's worth talking about because Popovich last night became the all-time wins leader in games or regular season or both. Do you know?
I think regular season.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, too. It just says on here, Spurs, Popovich sets NBA's all-time wins record, but I do think I saw.
I'm sure he has more postseason wins than Don Nelson.
Yeah. Well,
but Nelson,
so it's probably both.
But he might not have more postseason wins over.
Yeah, Phil Jackson.
I'm just leaving the question. Pat Riley.
Yeah.
Some of those guys that
26 years.
Red Auerbach. You go way back to.
And Nelson never won an NBA title.
O'Neilly. He's would you know the difference between him and John Madden if you saw them together?
Yeah. A lot
kind of remind you of each other, don't they?
With the hair
and the personalities too.
Yeah.
Kind of go hand in hand.
So how many years for Popovich? 26, I think.
I hope you're telling and not asking, unless you're asking Brett.
I was just reaffirming. I was trying to get affirmation.
I can't.
I think so. 26.
San Antonio in that one 104-102. Toronto 117. Phoenix 112.
You got Gary Trent Jr., former Duke.
Dukey.
One and done.
Didn't he score 40 something?
42.
Yeah, I did see that. I thought I recognized the name, and I promise you, that's all I do is recognize the name because the one and dones are hard to remember.
8 out of 11.
8 out of 11 from 3.
And Toronto, did I say that one?
Yeah, that's who Trent plays for.
Okay, he plays for Toronto. And the Lakers, Brett's Lakers win last night late over Washington 122-109. Did I see LeBron was lighting it up?
50.
Yeah, 50.
Okay, that's lighting it up.
So the last 4 games, he scored over 50 in 2 of them, and they won them both. The 2 that he didn't score 50, they lost both. He was 18 for 25.
And he's got an AARP card and able to put up points like that.
Age defined.
Very young.
Very young.
Is he?
37.
30. Oh, wow. Yeah, he is very young. I understand now where you're coming from. Let's see. We got some NCAA basketball scores here from yesterday. Illinois falls to Indiana. It looks like Indiana getting hot at the right time. Who's the Indiana coach? Do we ever figure that out?
Mike Woodson.
Mike Woodson.
That's right. Mike
Woodson. Played on Bobby Knight's 76, undefeated.
Yep. I'd asked Brett last night, wasn't it, a former Indiana player? And
that win might have
done it.
Put them in?
Yeah. They're 20-12. They finished 9th in the Big Ten, but, I mean, that's a pretty good conference.
Yeah.
And they've got some good wins.
Yeah.
But now they're still 2 wins away from winning that tournament.
Yes.
You told me it ends on Sunday.
Semifinals today.
Yeah, they play Iowa today.
Oh, that's the hottest team in the country, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot about Iowa.
Heard a lot about Iowa.
How they can put up. Didn't they score like 120 a couple days ago?
112.
112 in a college game. Texas A&M pulled off a big win yesterday over Auburn, knocking off number 4 Auburn 67-62 to advance. They will now take on Tennessee, right?
Yep.
Tennessee beat Mississippi State?
No?
Okay, so they're still in the semis
Tennessee and Kentucky will play.
That's right, Kentucky. That'll be good.
A&M plays Arkansas.
The bourbon game of the week, Tennessee and Kentucky.
There you go, which bourbon is best.
And Arkansas, somebody said last night or this morning I heard somebody figurehead talking, saying Arkansas may be the hottest team in the country.
I heard that.
I thought it was Iowa, but teams are hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the head coach at Arkansas?
Bill Musselman.
Bill Musselman out of Arkansas. Because I don't know.
I remember his.
It's not Nolan Richardson.
Yeah, his father was a coach in. I want to say Minnesota at one time. think he coached in the pros, so he's a father. It was a father-son coaching thing, so he's following.
Bill Musselman, so he's young.
I think it's Bill.
Okay.
Or was that his father's name? Yeah, but Musselman is right for the last name.
Let's go through here. I'll try to stay in order here on my scoreboard, even though it doesn't really match up right. This is the ESPN scoreboard at the top here. Houston over Cincinnati, 69-56. Iowa beat Rutgers, 84-74. Arkansas over LSU, 79-67. Now, I heard something about this one was really close at halftime, and then Arkansas scored the first 15 or so of the second half. Is that right? Did you tell me that, Brad?
Yeah.
Arkansas looking good there, 12-point win over LSU. Tennessee over Mississippi State. Tennessee, Kentucky should really be good today. 72-59 over the Bulldogs. Providence fell to Creighton, and you'd almost look at this and say, are they sure? Because the amount.
The number one seed.
Number one seed, Providence, number 11 in the country, goes down to Creighton. But Creighton always plays well this time of year, do they not?
Into
85-58, not even a contest in that matchup. It was Michigan State beating Wisconsin 69-63. Is Michigan State a bubble team? Are they in?
I think they're in.
Yeah, 23-11. They were
pretty good conference.
Yeah, very good way. Yeah, probably the second best conference after the Big 12.
Oh, I think the SEC might give them a run.
Better. Could be.
Pretty good.
All three of those conferences are very good this year.
It will be interesting to see how all the conferences, all the major conferences, do in the NCAA tournament, and see how they match up head to head with other conferences.
So the ACC has, I think Duke and North Carolina are obviously in.
Yeah.
Everybody after that is either on the bubble or has no shot.
Yeah.
I gotta put Virginia Tech in. I just got to.
Yeah, well,
Virginia
what
Tech
I saw was before they beat Carolina last night.
Yeah,
they were one of the last four in.
Now they've won 3
Miami
straight
and
days,
Notre
right?
Dame were.
They've won 3 straight days. Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Miami and Notre Dame were.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, even
not
if
in
they
the
lose
last
today.
4 in, but the first 4
How about
that
Wake
wouldn't be in a
Forest?
play-in.
Is Wake Forest in danger?
Yeah, they're about as 50-50 as you could get, I think.
Although they just had such a solid 23 wins. I hope they get in.
I think Miami, Virginia Tech, and Notre Dame will be in.
Yes.
Wake Forest is the one that
It's not been the greatest year
Might
for the ACC,
not.
especially
bad.
outside the league, right?
They've done poorly.
Yeah.
and Virginia, they're on the bubble. They did not look good against Carolina.
Virginia 13.
2 nights
That's
ago.
all Virginia 13. You know what that is? Virginia 13.
At halftime.
That was the lowest point total from an ACC team at halftime in the shot clock era. How long we had a shot clock?
Yeah.
Since the late 70s, early 80s.
Even when the Cavs win, it's just so I don't want to say ugly. It's just I don't know, slow mo something.
Yep.
They usually win what? It's low 50s.
They give the term they struggle to score.
Yeah, meaning a whole new depth.
Struggle would be
you certainly can't deny Tony
Understatement.
Bennett's success, but boy.
yeah, they got won a national title playing their style of basketball, but man, it's hard to watch, isn't it? I mean, just to watch them play. But I will say this, normally they win with their defense, but they didn't. Carolina just ate them alive in that game. I mean, they had no problem scoring on them. They had no answer for Baycott or Manick.
Carolina played even better than they played against Duke in that final regular season.
And Duke had no answer for Baycott and Manick the previous game. So,
but last night
matchups are so weird.
It is.
Matchups are so weird.
Last night, Caleb Love and R.J. Davis, they couldn't hit anything.
Right. Duke couldn't keep them out of the paint, out of the lane last Saturday night, and that to me that was the difference in the game because they.
It was a weird game.
It was.
I thought it was really even for 35 minutes or so, and then Carolina just took over in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
It was even.
Yep, they got that momentum train rolling, and Duke couldn't stop it. The old snowball.
And Duke, started forcing really bad shots, and
they lost their poise.
which Duke has tended to do this year.
Yeah, they like to shoot from anywhere on the court.
Yeah. Although I'd rather have A.J. Griffin shooting it than who's the guard, Keels. He's a little inconsistent.
Well, Brett, it was either Brett or Mr. Steve K that sent a message to me yesterday. Said I think it was Brett said I would rather see Banchero drive to the bucket than anybody shoot a three.
Yeah,
basically anybody shoot a three.
Yeah, and last night he did.
Yeah, he got a little.
He was really aggressive.
An anger look on his face, and that's when he plays his best.
Well, he has been accused, guys, of just kind of gliding at times in games. But last night he was really locked in, and
especially the second half.
Almost played
especially
angry.
The second
and
half.
when he does that, they are hard to beat.
I've wondered if those
now if he could just get everybody else on board.
The cramping and dehydration issues that he had early in the season, if that's not still in his mind, and he's scared to play.
Yeah, I got to lay off for
as hard as he can from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Duke looked like a tired team.
I think they
night.
should just they
especially
should
the big guy.
They should rest him a little more,
especially the big guy.
Well,
instead of Banchero playing 38 minutes, let him play 32.
Well,
now Duke don't play players off.
No,
the
I
bench.
know.
Since postseason started, K has shrunk his bench even more.
Yeah,
Baker and Theo John play 3 minutes each.
Yeah, so we're talking about 5 players.
Roach will come off the bench and play a good bit. So it's a 6-man rotation.
How long has Theo John been at Duke?
This is only year.
He's a graduate
only year.
student.
But where was he from then?
Marquette.
Okay, he's the Marquette. So.
And he has contributed at times, but right now.
Yeah, but he's just a. Yeah,
he has no offense.
No, he's just a body.
He's a body.
A body that give you some defense and a few rebounds, and usually don't turn the ball over.
What I've noticed about Baker's rotation, if he misses his first 3, he doesn't get another chance.
No use putting him in then.
No.
No use putting him in. A couple others from last night. Virginia Tech did beat North Carolina 72-59. Duke and Miami's not on my screen, but it was 80-76.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes,
I know it's a 4-point game. I don't know if I got the numbers.
Very
good
ball game.
It was a good game. And I still think Miami.
They could make some noise.
Yes,
they're guards.
And you guys, or one of you said, it might have been Brett this morning, that they have 3 players that are 24 years old.
Yeah,
they have 3 6th-year players.
That helps you
and
in
2
NCAA
of them are guards,
tournament.
and we know how important guards are.
Charlie Moore.
That
Miami's his 4th stop in his college career.
How about Wong?
And then McGusty.
McGusty
is a transfer.
Yeah,
he's I think a 6th-year player. Wong seems like he's been at Miami forever. He had a terrible game last night. 1 for 11.
He was terrible last night.
They're good. They're small. They play 4 guards, and then their big man is, more of a shooter than
he's more of a wing
post player.
Lou Holtz. We're small, but we're slow.
They are not slow.
Is that one of the greatest lines ever? What's the greatest line ever delivered by a coach in a press conference?
Either we're small, but we're slow, or
how did they ask
the execution of your team? Was it John McKay?
John McKay. Yeah. What do you think about the execution of your team? I'm in favor of it. I heard Tampa Bay was going back to their old time creamsicle jerseys.
I don't know. I think maybe just for a couple games.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Please don't.
What they wear now looks much better than that.
Please don't bring.
Yeah,
it
it's
back
a good
forever.
color combo.
Yeah, maybe one of the best uniforms in the league. With
I love their color.
It's pretty
now,
sharp.
Yeah.
Lenny says, I think Virginia Tech will now make it, but might be at the expense of Wake Forest because at the moment I think they are the last of the last 4 in. The last of the last 4 in. Mm-hmm. He says Charlie Moore's grandson will be a freshman at Miami next year. and that's about the truth. Yeah. But the funny thing is,
it looks like he's 16.
Yeah, just to look at Charlie Moore, he looks like the youngest player on the court. Got that baby face. He's still kind of chubby.
Yeah.
But he can. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He can play.
He's
got a little. It's like he's got just a little bit of attitude or something about him that gives him an edge or something. But he's pretty good and I still think Miami should probably get in this tournament. Late last night, UCLA beat Southern Cal 69-59. At what stage are we of that tournament, Brett?
That was a semifinal. It'll be UCLA and Arizona.
The
tonight.
two best all year long, right?
Yeah,
in that league.
Top seeds.
Yeah, UCLA and USC pretty even.
All three of them make the tournament.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
nobody
Anybody else from the?
I think
Pac-12?
Colorado will.
Colorado. Will.
Colorado's got a basketball program.
They're not bad.
Yeah, there are from time. Believe it or not, I've seen Colorado play in person
You're kidding.
at Wake
They're 21
with
and
Lavelle
11.
Hall and Ryan Shelton.
Wow.
You could imagine it was Ryan Shelton, right?
Finished,
be
they
Ryan.
finished 4th in the Pac-12. They're pretty good.
So 4 teams in the Pac-12. You think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oregon not in the
I
mix.
thought Oregon would have been better. I don't know how they finished. Let's see. Oregon finished 5th, 19 and 14 overall. Probably doesn't get them in.
No.
19 and what?
14.
Nah. Not if your
Colorado-
name's Oregon and you got trees on the court. That
Colorado's
is one ugly court.
21
It
and
is.
11. I think they get in.
No, we got to take a time out, but do you know what I remember about that trip with Lavelle Hall and Ryan Shelton to Wake Forest to watch Colorado? When we walked in the building, and we did not stop till we were on the hardwood floor. We just walked straight down. Ryan Shelton tells the security guy who he is. We go straight out on the floor and start talking to Rodney Rogers.
Ooh.
He introduces us to Rodney
Well,
Rogers.
that's what I call connection.
Yeah, yeah, and
Rodney Rogers.
that's a man that is well known,
I always felt that Rodney Rogers could have had an NFL career.
and now in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You know, and was it an accident he had, Brett,
Yes,
or was
was.
it
I think
was
it
an accident or a I didn't know if that or a health issue. I
think it
could
was an
not
accident.
remember, but he sure is great guy. We'll take a time out. Appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk. Back with more in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Okay, here's your wake-up call. Wake up, Rodney Willis. Wake up, Denny Hoover.
Yeah, where's Rodney?
Lenny, he's awake and kicking this morning. These guys should be, well, I started to say some of these guys should be happy this morning. I'm sure Lenny's disappointed. Lenny was happy last week. His Tar Heels beat Duke in that game, but then they lose here. Hardly, it's weird. I know Duke and North Carolina met a lot of times, but it seems like when there's always they're on that collision course, something happens to one of them.
Well, ESPN isn't happy. They were envisioning a
they would love to have that game
Duke
again.
Final.
They would love to have that game again. Yeah. There have been a lot of times when they have played back-to-back Saturdays in this, or back-to-back weekends. Could have been on a Sunday, but
nothing.
And doesn't it usually happen where they split those two when they play back-to-back Saturdays?
I would say yes.
Usually. Guys, you know how close this rivalry is, but I think I saw a graphic last night. I don't know whether you guys saw it, that like Duke had made 34 ACC tournament finals, and Carolina had made 35. So does that mean Duke is now pulled even?
No, that was after they. That was after they already made.
That was after
last
Duke
night.
won their game.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's still 35-34.
But Duke's won more.
3 more. I think it's 21-18.
Yeah, that's it.
But their record against each other, the championship numbers.
Oh, it's just all even.
It's just all even.
Yeah, it's just all even. Even Krzyzewski's record, you would think,
It was 3 games above 500
Yeah.
against Carolina.
50 and 47.
Yeah. It's and I'm sure Roy's record had to be, and
Pretty even. Yeah. Kay's record against Jim Larinaga is now 8-7.
Is it?
After beating them
We've
last
always
night.
had trouble against Miami.
Yeah. Well, that's not the only team that they've struggled with, is it? In
Florida
the
State.
ACC.
Well,
Florida State, yeah, Florida
always
State.
that always comes to my mind. That
Florida State, Miami.
seemed like they never won at Florida State, but there's some teams that just always can be a thorn in your side. Florida State, always very athletic.
That's what amazed me.
athletic.
That's one this ACC tournament. Like Florida State just packed it in early.
Yeah.
In their tournament game.
Rodney Willis sends me 3 words. I hear you.
I hear you. He's awake.
Lenny says, I think it was an ATV accident for Rodney Rogers. And then he said he also made a trip like that with Ryan Shelton. Same thing happened to me. We walked straight down to the floor at the old Memorial Coliseum to meet Skip Brown and Rod Griffin.
Wow, Skip Brown.
Takes you back to the 70s, don't it?
That does. Rod Griffin. 6'6", about 6'6", but chiseled, but played power forward or center.
I always thought that, honestly, I hate to say this, I always thought those Wake Forest teams underachieved. I thought they had as much talent as, at that time, I think, more State and Carolina than Duke.
They had some great players.
But I just think it just
was
seemed
that under
like
gentleman Carl Tacey?
Carl Tacey.
Gentleman Carl Tacey.
Yep. That's that's what I remember the most. Is
they had some.
Is those guys like that, Skip Brown and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. They had Skip Brown. Clemson had Skip Wise. It was
I know that got
Skips
confusing. Two guards.
Yeah, and both really good, and both
very good.
similar looks.
Yeah.
Yep. That. Hey. Let's see.
You guys said the name Skip, and it made me think
Prosser,
Skip Holtz.
Skip Holtz.
Did you guys see Sage Surratt's going to play in the USFL for the Birmingham Stallions?
I did not.
No, but
it's got him listed as a tight end.
Does it?
But Skip Holtz is going to be their head coach.
Putting on some weight if he's going to be a tight end. Am I right?
Probably
Which is good because
they start their season in just a few weeks.
To me, I think that is
good for Sage.
Yeah, I think that's since he don't have this is no knock at all.
Yeah,
since he don't have the blazing speed as a lot of NFL wide receivers, the bulking up and playing tight end could be.
Well, we know he's got great hands.
Perfect.
I mean, he catches the football,
and he's also coachable and will do anything asked. And if it's blocking as a tight end and running some pass routes, I don't know who I would compare him to until I see what he looks like if he's bulked up, and
may not.
Yeah,
he probably has.
Go play in this USFL. Maybe you get a chance later on.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yep.
You're always.
Yep.
What was it? A heartbeat away when you were in AAA ball.
Did you say which team?
Birmingham.
Yeah. And they're the what?
Stallions.
The Stallions. Birmingham.
Good name, Stallions.
Good for you, maybe. Not for me.
Yeah. I wear it well.
Oh man, not sure Mike understands what makes a stallion at this point.
The stallion put out to pasture.
Tell him, Lenny. He may want to retract that.
He
may want to retract that comment later on. I know, as what's the best matchup of today? If you had to look at these matchups on paper today and these college basketball games, it's not Duke and Virginia Tech because there's not as much history there.
Well, I think it's a semifinal game.
I think it'll be a good game, Duke and Virginia Tech. But if you just look, I mean, you got to think Kentucky, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's the one that jumps out to me.
You got to think.
I think Texas Tech and Kansas could be really good.
Either one of the Big Ten games.
Championship.
Either one of the Big Ten games. Who are those matchups again? Indiana and
Iowa, Michigan State, and Purdue.
Yeah, I think both of those games could be
great matchups.
Really good. And I would not be shocked if any of those four won the Big Ten tournament. Would you?
Nope.
Any of the four. Who would be your pick if you had to pick one?
Well, Purdue has sort of been at the top of the conference all season.
I'm going Iowa.
But Iowa's a hot team.
Yeah. And Michigan State's playing much better. But Michigan State, I don't know, just what I've seen out of them this year. And I've always liked Michigan State because I like Izzo.
Yeah, I have too.
But they can be so inconsistent offensively that any time they might just go out there and score 40 points,
Mm-hmm.
So that would worry me a little bit if I was a Michigan State fan.
Michigan, are they going to make the tournament?
I don't think so.
Now they got the two most notorious coaches in college sports.
They do. They get and maybe not in a good way.
That's what I mean.
Notorious, yeah.
That's Juwan
Howard and
Jim Harbaugh. 17-14 overall.
No,
probably not going to get them in.
NIT.
They did finish above 500 in that conference,
which
is a good conference.
Yeah, but 17-14. I mean, it is a good conference. They were over 500. Who were they losing to?
It depends on
how many losses did they have in the conference.
9.
Okay, so they lost 5 non-conference.
Yeah,
I know Carolina beat them.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt you.
Arizona,
that doesn't hurt you.
Yeah,
Seton Hall.
Are they a tournament team? They are, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah,
21-10. Yeah, they'll get in. Minnesota. Well, that's a conference game. Central Florida beat them. Michigan's not going to get in.
Don't know about that one. Let's see.
Who's in the Big East final?
Creighton and Villanova.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will, and that's a conference really that kind of gets overlooked, and I think it's
Very good.
dynamite. You know.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's just basketball schools.
And it's physical brand of basketball, and they're
Well, it used
they're,
to be, for
they're
sure.
NCAA tournament ready. I mean, still.
Yeah.
I think it is still.
So they'll probably get, obviously, Providence, Creighton. Who else is going to the dance?
Well, Villanova,
Villanova,
Connecticut,
UConn.
Seton Hall,
And who'd you say coaches UConn now? You were telling me yesterday.
Danny Hurley.
Danny Hurley,
All right.
head coach at.
Now, on the other end of the country, Bobby Hurley is struggling now at Arizona State, right?
Yeah, he didn't have a good year.
I don't know how to put this and be nice about it, but it's almost like those schools don't even exist to me anymore. I mean,
I know. We never see him
that's-
play.
No, some of those teams out west. I mean,
Just don't
until
know.
this tournament rolls around, you don't.
You-
Even in football,
you don't
even
know.
in football, their games a lot of times are on so late at night, you don't watch them. And who's going to watch Arizona or Arizona State playing a football game when at the same time you got a SEC game? I mean,
Not
you
gonna
know,
Yeah.
happen.
no, you're not.
As highly ranked as Arizona's been all year, I don't know that I've seen them play. Have you guys seen
I have, and I think they're.
them?
No,
Are
they could be my
legit?
pick to win it all.
Win it
Yeah,
all?
they're really talented.
Maybe they should
Well,
be.
who's even coaching Arizona post Sean Miller? I don't know.
Yeah, I always have to look it up. I can never remember.
Arizona's coach?
Yeah.
Johnny Olson, Lute's boy.
Luke Boy. Yeah.
Different Johnny Olson. The other sharpshooter, this is from Lenny, on that Wake team was Jerry Schellenberger
Oh, yeah. Jerry Schellenberger.
from, listen to this name, Floyd's Knob, Indiana is where he was from.
Jerry
I remember
Schellenberger.
Jerry Schellenberger.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
that name.
Outside shooter.
Floyd's Knob, Indiana. How about that? I like towns with
Now, and of course,
names like that.
The iconic Larry Bird from French Lick, Indiana.
Yes.
I think we just talked about this coach a couple weeks ago, Tommy Lloyd,
That's right.
who was an assistant at Gonzaga for
Yeah.
20 years.
That's right.
Is
Tommy
Wow.
Lloyd.
Arizona. It's
Wow.
in his first year
Wow.
at Arizona.
Yeah, Coach K had him on his program, his radio, Sirius XM program the other night.
How old of a guy is he? I mean, obviously he's
40,
42.
47.
47? Okay.
That's the only coaching job he ever had was assistant at Gonzaga until this year.
Well,
you
good
guys-
for him getting an opportunity.
Are you guys getting the feeling this finally may be Gonzaga's year?
No.
You're not? You don't think
I don't. You know what, Mike?
their conference?
No, I don't know. I don't have a feeling
For
about
anybody.
it.
No,
I don't have a
I
feeling
think
for
there's
anybody.
I don't
I
either.
think there might
I
be
don't-
20 teams
Yeah.
that could win it all.
Whereas last year, guys, we knew we had two teams, the veteran teams, Baylor and Gonzaga. They were solid throughout the year. You just had a feeling they're going to meet, and they were a little bit better than everybody else. This year, as Brett says, it could be.
If we named a Final Four, we'd probably have maybe one the same or two at the most, right? And then everybody else would be all over the place, would it not?
But here's another question, you guys: how many brackets are you going to play? Are we
don't
going to
know.
have a bracket? We always do, surely.
You getting it together?
Well, Brett's the
Brett.
longtime
No, I don't-
administrator.
I don't get the brackets together. I'll send you a link for someone that you can join,
Okay,
Yeah.
but I don't put it together.
I know. Okay.
$50, Mike, you getting in?
Yeah. Even in retirement, I'll get in.
I was just sitting here thinking about the, who we'd have in our Final Four right now.
Does that?
Would you pencil in Arizona in your Final Four if you were picking a bracket today? Would you put Arizona in the Final Four?
I've liked them for several weeks now and thought that's who I'm going to pick to win it all.
Are you really?
But it kind of depends on. I mean,
they're ranked second in the country, and that's kind of a
if the 2 seed
quiet
in there
second in the
is, Kentucky, or I don't know,
and
Baylor. If Baylor's the 2
Baylor's
seed and
still ranked
Arizona's
third.
then
I heard.
that would scare me.
I made a mistake last night, and I actually had the volume on my TV when Seth Greenberg was talking. But he said, and along with Alfonso
No, LaFonso
LaFonso Ellis, they both agreed that Baylor's really hurt right now. Their roster's struggling, and from what it was the first of the year, that Duke has somehow they were comparing Duke with Baylor and said Duke had a better roster than Baylor. but
Yeah, but
Baylor's ranked third in the country.
Roster.
Yeah.
Now Baylor is
That
a
makes a
totally
big
new
difference,
team
too, in
from
tournament play.
what they won it all with last year.
Yeah, they
so
are.
you
They
can't
turned
you
it
can't
over.
look at the experience
No, they don't
on
have
Baylor's
it.
side.
Yeah. I started.
But they are older than Duke.
You may want to follow me. I'm going to start a fire Seth Greenberg post. As I should have started it.
But I was thinking
years
about
ago.
Duke last night. I think they have one guy that's played in the NCAA tournament.
One guy
Or
that's
maybe
played-
Theo John might have played in it at Marquette. But Joey Baker's the only guy that's played in the NCAA tournament.
So they bring a lot of experience to that.
Wendell Moore's a junior
And he
and
probably
has
won't
never
even-
played in
And
it.
he probably
Never
won't
played
even
in
get
it.
in the.
They got canceled his freshman year.
Yeah.
And
They
last
didn't make
year-
it last year.
Yeah, Wendell Moore has never played an NCAA tournament game. Wow.
And I'm surprised they have a 3-year starter. I'm a third
Three-year
year
player.
Third year
Even.
player. Yes, is what I mean.
Is Wendell Moore the
that-
first 3-year player at Duke? And that's not.
A long time.
Well, Baker's been there, but we don't
No,
know.
but I'm
you
talking
can't
about
really count.
regular
Quinn Cook's
guy
the
on
last
the court.
one I really remember.
Quinn Cook, 2015 run.
I mean, I think I would put Auburn.
Emil Jefferson.
I think I would put Auburn in my Final Four if I were picking it today.
That's what I was going to ask. How bad does that scare you, the way they lost?
Like you said yesterday, that can do you some good.
Yeah.
Number one, it gives you a little more rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 days you don't have to play, 2 games you don't have to play.
That's right.
And a new mindset that we are not invincible. We've got to play hard, play this way every game
We gotta
if
get
we want to
better.
win these games.
Auburn had a player go 0 for 14 yesterday.
Did they really?
At what point do you just tell the guy to stop shooting or just
I'd like to
get
see
him
the-
out of the game?
I'd like to see the shooting percentages of Carolina's guards last night. R.J. Davis and
Well, I wanted to ask if the kid from who'd you say, Brett? Which team?
Auburn,
for
Is his last name Baker?
yeah.
K.D. Johnson.
He only gets one try.
he
0
averages
for 1.
he averages 12, but
Did
he
you
only
say
shoots.
KD
He
or
only
Katie?
shoots K.D.
Oh, okay.
He only shoots 39% on the season,
Yeah. I mean, jacked
and
up
he's 0 for 14 yesterday.
Ooh.
39% from 3-point
No,
range would not
yeah,
be bad.
well, yeah, but that's just from the
You're
field.
talking about 39%.
He's
period.
28% from 3-point range.
Well,
and that's what he is as a guard.
That's Bruce Pearl's fault for leaving him out there long enough to
Yeah.
take 14
That's
shots.
right.
I
Exactly.
mean, maybe he didn't have anybody else. I don't know. Kentucky, I straddle the fence on whether I want to put Kentucky in the Final Four or not. I think they definitely have enough talent.
It's a year they could win it.
Yeah, they
Because
definitely
they
have
got
enough
old
talent.
guys for the first time in forever. I mean, I think didn't Calipari just embrace where he was the first guy to really embrace the one and done. Now he's embracing the transfer portal.
I love their workhorse in the middle. That guy can get
that
after it.
guy's
I don't know how to
bad.
pronounce his name.
Can't either, but he's
but
a pro.
yeah, he is.
Ooh.
Yeah, he gets after it, and
How
he's a
about the
rebounding machine.
Yeah, how about the center of Illinois as far as being just a massive
he's a monster.
person?
Another
Whoa.
school I didn't realize existed.
Yeah.
I saw him play in high school.
Illinois, Dick Butkus is about the only thing.
You haven't heard of Illinois since Dick Bucket,
Dick
right?
Butkus, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell me somebody. Tell me the best player. Jeff George, out of Illinois. Remember Jeff George?
Struggling.
Well, I was thinking basketball.
Yeah, just anything.
Darren Williams.
Just anything.
He had a pretty good
Williams
NBA
good.
career.
Darren Williams is good.
when they lost to Carolina.
Yeah,
in the
well, he's a good pro too.
Yeah, he played for the Jazz for
Who's
a
the
lot
other-
of years.
Who's
Brooklyn.
the other guy on that team for Illinois that had the big run? Nick.
Well, they had another guard. I
Yeah,
think his name was
yeah.
Marcus Williams.
That'd be a good guess. There's Marcus Williams all over.
Yeah.
Or Mike Williams. A lot of Williams, period, in athletics.
Oh, yeah.
That seems to be a very popular. Kansas, are they a Final Four team?
I
yeah.
think they look really
They
good.
got the look.
But
so they're
they
going to
could
lose.
They could lose.
They'll lose
in the second round.
Yeah, to a 15.
Yeah.
2-15, or that'd be the first round, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Could they lose to a? Remember, it's happened 2-15, and they likely to be.
I
a
think
2.
Kansas has done that before.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
They've had some incredible,
multiple times.
They've had some amazing early flameouts, just like Duke has.
And was
They've
it?
got that history.
I was looking at this earlier, and I think it was last year. Oh, I know it was last year. I think it was Kansas that Southern Cal just destroyed in the second round as an upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Southern Cal beat Kansas last year 85-51 in the second round.
Hey,
Southern Cal beat Kansas 85.
Now Southern Cal was really good, and they
were
had
good.
very high draft pick in Evan Mobley, but
It did.
but that's still. I mean, Kansas was a 3 seed.
Big 12 in the Final Four. Who was last?
Well, Baylor won it all last year.
There you go.
Yeah.
But different.
When's the last time Kansas made the Final Four?
That's the reason I asked that. I just wondered if they were last. I forgot about
It's
Baylor.
been a couple of years.
Lenny says, I think 2 games the SEC today will be fun to watch. Arkansas, Texas A&M, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Those do seem to be really good matchups and very even, and I wouldn't bet on either one. He also says Tom Lloyd was an assistant at Gonzaga for years. He was Mark Few's international recruiter for the program, and Arizona is loaded with international
That's all they
players.
are. International players.
Yep, and you know what? That's taking transfer portal or whatever to, I guess, recruiting
Across the big
to
pond,
a whole new level. And those kind of guys are fundamentally sound.
They
Those
are.
guys,
And
they
they
can,
usually
can
shoot well.
Yeah, even the 7-footers.
Yeah.
Kansas
Shoot
was
the
in
ball
the
well.
2018 Final Four.
Okay.
2018. That's not
Yep.
been that long ago,
No.
really, 4 years. So
Bill Self has been to 3 at Kansas. 08, 2012, 2018.
when's the last time Duke or Carolina was in the Final Four? I'm not asking. I just don't
Well,
remember.
Well, Carolina won it.
Virginia was most recent, right?
Yeah, Carolina won
Carolina
it in
made back-to-back
2017.
Final Fours, yeah.
Okay. Lost to Villanova one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
won
they
it.
beat
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. Was that
Gonzaga.
that year?
I don't know if they beat Gonzaga in the finals or the semis.
I mean, Duke hasn't been since their 2015 title run.
They haven't been to the Final Four since that, right?
I don't know. They've been to the
They've only
Elite
been-
Eight once.
The only Final Fours they've been to in the last
2010.
15 years were the 2 that they won.
That's right. That's a drought.
Well, we
So
were
they haven't
naming,
lost a Final Four game in
we were
20
naming-
years.
We were naming the greatest athletes out of Illinois, and Rodney Willis may have won the
Red Grange.
cake. Yes,
Red Grange.
Yep. Red Grange. Now let me ask this: where did Jim Thorpe?
That's a great.
Was
where
he a
did Jim
college
Thorpe-
athlete?
Yeah.
Because,
somewhere.
and for some reason, I wanted to associate him with Illinois,
I know.
but I'm not sure. I can't
I
say.
do too.
But you're going to put Jim Thorpe over about anybody with
Yeah,
the
I mean,
as
he
far
was-
as athleticism.
Yeah. Where did Jim Thorpe
Um,
did he play college football?
Yeah, Nick Anderson is what
Right. That's who I was thinking of.
is what Rodney says.
Yeah.
Recent Nick Anderson played on those freaky good Magic teams.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be freaky good. I don't even remember the Magic being any good except for when they had Shaq.
Shaq.
It don't go back that far, does it? Lenny says Auburn's concern is guards, and you better have good guard play in the NCAA. Yes, usually the teams that win the national championship are
always.
strong, very strong
Just like Baylor last year.
at the guard positions. We got to take a timeout. We come back. We'll look at see if we can find some of the high school baseball scores of games that were played yesterday afternoon. Back in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with department staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. I wanted to start with the did you know, but I don't know anything. I didn't know. Let's start with one of those. I didn't know. And I don't even have any music trivia for the day. I started thinking, no, and I hate that. I've been a little lax here over the last couple of days.
Oh, I did. I'm trying to think of some music trivia.
Well, I know you. You'll give the answer as you ask the question. That's not much trivia.
Okay. This is from trivia the other night.
Throw it out there.
Okay, let's see how good you guys are. What were the 2 highest-selling movie soundtracks of the 90s?
Of the 90s.
One starred.
Forrest Gump.
No, don't do any of that.
Okay.
I mean, that's hints. When you start saying one starred something, that's hints. Wait a little while
the
before you
one
give
would
the
give
hints.
it away. Okay,
Mike can't hold back. He'll say this before anybody
No.
gets
I'm going
to
to say name the 2 highest
of the
selling
90s
movie soundtracks of the 1990s.
Now, if somebody says one of them, say that's it, so we don't keep guessing.
Okay,
so
that's
he
from
said
1990 to 1999.
So it was not Forrest Gump.
It was not Forrest
Because
Gump.
Brett already said Forrest Gump. Was that in the 90s or
Soundtrack.
early 2000s?
Movie
That's
soundtrack.
90s.
You know what that is.
94.
I know what a movie soundtrack
do.
is,
I know
Mike.
you do.
Well,
Okay.
1994 had Forrest Gump, Shawshank Redemption, and Pulp Fiction.
Well, what a
It was
year.
one of the best movie years
yeah, it is,
ever.
but neither
That's
one of
a
those
great
last
movie
2 had
years.
great soundtracks.
Oh, I thought Pulp Fiction
Did it?
Pulp
soundtrack was
Fiction
great.
had a great
can't remember it.
soundtrack. Absolutely.
Tell me a couple songs.
But
then.
Tarantino's movies all have
They
great
always
Okay,
do.
soundtracks.
okay,
Oh,
good.
I love Tarantino's movie soundtrack.
Kind of like Scorsese, but he
Definitely
uses
one
the
of my
same
favorite
songs
movies.
in every movie.
Definitely
Okay,
one of my
Brad,
favorite
do you remember
movies of all
the
time.
retro restaurant scene where John Travolta and Uma Thurman, you remember they go?
Yeah.
Dancing.
Jackrabbit Slims.
Yeah, Jackrabbit Slim.
Brett don't remember it.
What was the song they did when they got out on the dance floor for the dance contest?
Was a Teenage Wedding.
Never
in the
Can.
old
Teenage
book.
Wedding.
Never Can Tell's the name of the song, isn't it?
Go to show you never can tell.
Yeah.
I think Never Can Tell.
Never
is
can
the,
tell.
is the name of the song. That's great scene.
That one scene revived Travolta's career, I guess, along with the assassination of
Rodney
those 2.
Rodney Willis says one of those soundtracks is The Bodyguard.
Rodney Willis, you are correct, sir.
There you go. He's got one of them.
He's got
One
one
of
of
them's
them.
The Bodyguard.
Good
That's
job.
Was that just like a Whitney Houston album?
Whitney Houston album.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right, here we go. A little high school baseball yesterday. East Burke defeated Bandies yesterday by a score of 1-0. Big win for East Burke on the diamond in the Catawba Valley Athletic Conference. It was South Iredell falling to West Cabarrus 5-3. It's going to be kind of hit and miss on some of these scores because a lot of games were postponed from yesterday. Lenny, yes, Brett looked this up a little bit ago. I think Jim Thorpe played at Carlisle, which I have no idea where that is, but it's in Pennsylvania.
Carlisle, Pennsylvania. That's the town, isn't it?
Yep, it's exactly where he played.
And there's a Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
All right.
This game here must have took a while. Brevard beat Mitchell County 20-2. Hickory Ridge over A.L. Brown 11-1. Let's see. Watauga over East Wilkes 15-2. Getting all these off of the Max Prep scoreboard this morning. Smoky Mountain beat Pisgah yesterday afternoon, whenever they played, by a score of 4-3. Irwin out of Asheville beat Owen 7-5. Ledford over East Davidson 10-0. Green Central, Mike familiar with Green Central. Green Central 2, North Lenoir 0 down east.
Snow Hill, North Carolina.
Snow Hill, that's where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
They defeated West Lincoln for the 1992 2A softball.
And they beat Cherryville or played Cherryville.
They did play
Cherryville.
Cherryville.
Lost, I think. They lost to Cherryville.
In 81 Legion.
Is that when it was?
Cherryville swept.
You sure they didn't play in high school too?
They might have.
I was thinking like the high schools had met before.
Could be.
Cherryville and
but the Legion team down there was
Green
at that
Central.
time was known as Snow Hill.
Right. I remember that. I do remember that. Also in high school baseball yesterday, this says East Lincoln 18, Cherryville 7. I had seen 18-6, but what's Michelle's first name? It slips my mind right now. Garrett.
Yeah.
Garrett Michelle, 2 home runs in that game for East Lincoln. I think he drove in 6 in the game. East Lincoln had a really good week of baseball. They beat, and they're undefeated so far. They beat East Rutherford early in the week, and then they beat Cherryville yesterday. Both those games on the road for East Lincoln.
Well, I mean, that's so impressive because you got a 2A power traditionally, and East Rutherford and a 1A Kingpin and Cherryville
and now East Lincoln, a 3A team that I think could make some noise.
And
come
again,
playoff time,
guys,
as long as they stay healthy.
I've never heard of a Cherryville High School baseball team giving up 18 runs. Been around for a while.
Have you?
Just a few years.
How many? 50? Huff defeated North Meck 11-1. It was Starmount over Ashe County 18-1. Shelby over Highland Tech 5-1. A lot of ones on these bottom ends of these scores. Let's see. Mount Airy over West Wilkes 2-1. I get a restart on my computer right in the middle. Do you want to restart now? No. Tuscola beat North Buncombe 4-2. It was Southwest Edgecombe over Tarboro 12-7. Football score, right? Mm-hmm. Except you never see Tarboro score just 7.
No.
When's the last time Tarboro was held to 7? Bunker Hill 3, West Caldwell 0. Davie County 13, R.J. Reynolds 3. West Lincoln defeated Maiden last night. I think that's the Rebels' first baseball win. They beat Maiden last night 5-2. Good to see Coach Markley get in the win column. Lincoln Charter over Fred T. Ford 10-3. I think Lincoln Charter may be undefeated. They beat Independence the night before. Independence usually a pretty good baseball program, if I remember correctly. I know they're a Legion team. What are they called down? Is that Mint Hill? That's Mint Hill's team, right? That plays at Independence.
Yep.
Yeah, it's usually pretty good.
So now, of course, Lincoln Charter in the 2A league.
In a 2A league, all charter and academies and preps and whatever in that.
They could dominate that.
Yeah, they will. I mean, yes, they could. East Gaston over Bessemer City 10-0. Lincoln over Newton Conover 13-1. Scott Clonger was sending me the score. It was 2-1, 3-1. And the next thing I saw it was 13-1, getting into the late innings. So Lincoln had a pretty good week of baseball for their up-and-coming program. They beat
Okay.
Bunker Hill and Newton Conover this week.
Did you give out
in high
Chris
school
T.C.
baseball.
Robertson?
You can. That's right on my chart here.
T.C. Robertson 13, Crest 7.
That's a big. That's two good baseball schools.
Yeah.
Two really good baseball schools.
Is Bunker Hill? Were they expected to be
They're
as good as
down.
usual? Okay.
They're down. I mean, they're usually.
I just wondered how good of a win that was.
They're
for
usually
Lincoln.
the team to beat
Yeah.
in the conference. Now Bunker did beat West Caldwell yesterday 3-0, but they haven't. That might have been their first win yesterday. They're not as strong as they normally are.
So who's the
I'm
favorite?
sure they'll
Who do the
bounce.
coaches think is the favorite?
I haven't heard. I have not heard. I really don't know. I thought Bandy's, and then Bandy's lost last night to East Burke 1-0. I don't know. I think it's anybody. I don't think anybody in the league is very strong, or So whichever team can, stay healthy and get some decent pitching, play good defense. I think the hits come. I think just about everybody can hit a little bit. So I just think it comes down to which team gets the best pitching, and
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of runs scored. And just in baseball, period. Do you not think there's a lot of runs being scored?
Yeah,
There's
when
a
you said
lot
there
of
was a
low
1-0
double
game,
digit.
I was surprised.
Yeah, that was East Burke and Bandy's.
Yeah.
Both probably had their aces on the mound for that one.
Well, Bunker Hill West Caldwell was fairly low
3-0,
scoring,
yeah.
3-0.
Yeah. I think a lot of that, though, Mike, it may have been good pitching, probably was, but I think of that as they're not hitting the ball real
Not
well.
hitting.
Neither team is hitting the ball real well either
Mhm.
between those two. Patton beat Freedom 3-2. Mooresville over Cox Mill 6-4. AC Reynolds over Madison 15-5. Let's see. Maybe all I got here
Yep.
in the western part. Nothing on North Gaston and Christ the King. I know North Lincoln had beaten North Gaston a day or two ago. I think a fairly close game. Don't remember what scored. North Lincoln hasn't lost yet, by the way, either. East Lincoln hasn't lost. North Lincoln hasn't lost.
Well,
So
And you said you don't think Lincoln Charter's
I don't
lost.
think Lincoln Charter's lost. That's right. So some pretty good baseball.
how do you see
being
this
played.
Western Foothills 3A? Obviously, East Lincoln's off to a great start. North Lincoln, you said, was undefeated.
I think East might have the edge over North this year, but I do think North Iredale evidently is pretty good
Pretty
too.
I don't think anybody's
but-
going to out-hit East Lincoln.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, I think they've got.
I don't know how good their pitching is.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. Score enough, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's been what they've been doing here in the early going. Let's see. You mentioned Brevard High School baseball. This comes from Rodney. Yesterday, Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute played at Brevard College, won 13-0. Seth Willis, former West Lincoln pitcher, got the win. Through 6 innings to 22 batters, 106 pitches, 73 of those were strikes. He
Right.
struck out 12, only walked 1, allowed 3 hits and 1 earned run. In that, no runs. Period. No. I was 1 error. That's what it is. 1 error here on E6 in the game. So,
I think that Caldwell, Tech, and Gaston are in the same division, Division 2 of the North
Yes. Yes.
National Junior College Athletic Association.
And boy, have Gaston College surprised on the baseball diamond.
Yeah.
Still undefeated, right?
Nationally ranked.
Still undefeated. First year in 50 years,
Yeah.
and they're undefeated like at 18-0 or something like that.
18 or 20.
Yeah.
They got one today. Then
Rodney also throws this tidbit of information in there, familiar name here. Darian Farley, son of Sharon Farley, had a 2-run homer for Caldwell in that game
Right.
yesterday. So, yes, that is
Where did
impressive.
Sharon did Sharon go to Brevard?
Yep.
Thought he did.
Yep. Scott Cloninger says Bunker is not as good as they have been in the past. So, yep, they got a little rebuilding to do there at Bunker Hill. And I'm sure it'll come back around because baseball has been one of the school's specialties. It's kind of odd, isn't it? Their football was up this year
Yeah.
and really good. And baseball dropped off a little bit. It's kind of odd that to see the change in both at the same time. Usually you think if one's good, it helps the other because you have so many in smaller schools, so many athletes playing multiple sports. So, I can't sit here and tell you there's been any real surprises in high school baseball up to this point because it's still early and too hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And as typical, there's been more rainouts than there have been games played, I would think.
Right.
At least Rodney says no. Gaston is Division 2.
Okay.
See, and Caldwell's Division 3.
3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did see this past week though that Caldwell's basketball team made the national tournament.
All right.
Yeah, I get you guys information from you and from Richard Walker. Jeff Link, you know Jeff Link.
He's the SID or Sports Information at Caldwell.
Yeah.
Well, here's something I didn't know until Thursday. Lenny mentioned it on the bottom line. CVCC's bass team.
It's always good.
Is advanced
always
to the
good.
national tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Bass fishing team.
Yep, usually have a couple Catawba and Lincoln County guys on that as well.
That's right.
And it is. I mean, they compete. They compete real well. They compete with the big guys too.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger schools.
That's right.
In that, got an advantage, right? Being right here on Lake Hickory, Lake Norman.
But I don't know. Gaston's going to have beach volleyball. I don't know whether any other schools around.
You know, all
Many
this time I've
colleges.
been driving 3.5, 4 hours to the beach, and you're telling me Gaston, there's beach in Gaston.
Well, some beach somewhere. You've heard that one. No, they're going to play.
Gaston County's got beach volleyball.
No. They're going to play out of town this season, but they're going to build some pits on campus for.
Oh, okay.
Volleyball.
So this year they're just going to Waikiki.
Well, I think
maybe.
it's going to be in
Hawaii. So
Key West.
hey, I'll go cover.
Okay.
If it's in Key West, let's go.
So I want to go to Sloppy Joe's.
Yeah, you need to go if you've never been. I
for
can promise you that.
Hemingway,
You need to
yes.
take a stroll down Duval Street, right, Brett?
Yeah.
Got to see it. And I mean, there's many different reasons
Yeah.
to go down Duval Street.
I want to
if
have
you know
my
what I mean.
Hemingway moment.
Yeah, it's
definitely.
a good place to visit. I don't know if it'd be a good place to stay. Maybe if you were 25 and a single person, be okay, you know. But Key West definitely worth visiting at least once.
Right.
I've been a couple times. I'm ready to get back. Ready to go back. Lenny says Carolina beat Oregon in the semis and then Gonzaga in the championship. That was in 2017. And
Right.
I definitely forgot about the Oregon.
I did too.
The Oregon game. I think Oregon might have beat Duke that year.
They did.
Knocked Duke out.
They
in
knocked
that,
Duke out.
in that season. So
Mm-hmm.
there's your rundown of high school baseball. I'm sure we'll be giving a lot more scores as the season goes along. If you ask me to sit here and pick champs in any of these conferences, no clue. After what East Lincoln's done the first 2 weeks, I would say East Lincoln probably the team to beat in that conference that they're in. I couldn't tell you. I could maybe give you an order of finish in the CVAC, and it might wind up exactly opposite. That I think it's wide open. Whoever gets the best pitcher. Still wouldn't rule Bandy's out even after the loss. And East Burke now that they beat them. I don't even know East Burke's record. Maybe somebody I might ought to look that up.
Well, that 1A 2A combination. This could be a year where like Shelby. Aren't they off to a pretty good start?
Well, who'd they beat? They beat somebody decent yesterday, 5-1, didn't
Yeah, they did. I don't know.
I think it was Highland, but don't let that fool you. Highland's a better
Yeah.
team than they've been. Highland's pretty good from what I hear.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I don't know how good East Gaston is in baseball. They're in that conference.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good, but you still got to like Cherryville, right? And I don't know. What about Burns?
Yeah, Burns.
Don't know anything about. I don't know.
Shelby's 3-2.
Okay.
2 wins over Highland. Their losses were to Kings Mountain and Ashbrook.
Okay.
Yeah, I always got a feeling Ashbrook's pretty good, as long as Josh Cobb's still
head
down there,
Yeah.
heading that up. That I figure they're pretty good. You got the whole conference or just them?
Just them right now. Let's see.
You know, baseball don't fool around. I mean, they're already in conference play. You know,
right? They dive right into it.
they do. I mean,
Yeah, East Gaston's 3-2. Burns 5-0.
Ooh.
Burns is 5-0, so there you go. Now we have a favorite. If
do.
somebody's out of the gates at 5-0,
You got to feel good about it.
yes. In that game last night between East Burke and Bandy's just 2 hits in that game. East Burke committed 4 errors, but still able to win the game
Yeah.
1-0. That run, the lone run in that game came in the top of the fourth from East Burke. And let's see, I was going to try and find.
Apparently, Thomas Jefferson not the favorite to win that conference.
No,
Burns outscored them 35-1 in 2 games.
Well,
and that's a conference game.
Yeah,
that is, yeah. Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, I don't know. I think RS Central was getting the. Are they the cream of the crop right now? I don't really know anything about Chase. I know East Rutherford's probably. East Rutherford's always above average baseball team. I mean, they're always pretty good.
Bessemer City 0-5. That kind of surprises me.
And Bessemer City baseball in the last 8-10 years hasn't been
they've been
very
outscored 71-7 in 5 games.
I don't know.
I think Lincoln people would tell you it's been a long time since you saw this, but the CVAC right now, Lincoln all alone in first place at 2-0. They only played 2 games, but they are 2-0. Bandy's, Maiden, Bunker Hill, East Burke, West Lincoln, and Newton Conover are 1 game back, 1-1, and West Caldwell's 0-2. So
let's take a picture of that one.
That thing, that thing could go anywhere. You know what I mean? That thing could go anywhere. I'm gonna give you the overall records though, and you're gonna see what I mean. The best overall records in the conference are Newton Conover, who Lincoln beat last night 13-1.
Yeah.
Newton's 3-2, and Lincoln is 3-2. Then you have Bandy's 2-3, Maiden 2-3. At 1-3 is Bunker Hill and East Burke, and at 1-4 is West Lincoln. So honestly, I'm gonna say that any team, maybe with the exception of West Caldwell, can win that conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll even throw Newton in there, even though it was 13-1 last night. I'm telling you, it was 2-1 late, 3-1 late. Anyway,
wow,
it was a much closer game than I'm guessing. Lincoln scored a lot of runs in the top of the seventh.
What do we know about Lincoln baseball? I know Will Blackburn is a really good player.
Yeah, they have some good players. I mean, they do. I'm not even gonna start names because I'll leave somebody out, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. But they do have some pretty good players. On the baseball dime. Easton Dellinger.
Of course, Easton.
And they've just got I don't know. Theirs is going to be as it's always been. They'll hit. Can they defend and pitch? Mm-hmm. Can they get pitching and defend? I didn't make the first week. Somebody told me they'd probably hit 13 batters in the first week on the mound, and you're not going to win. You're not going to win doing that. Yep. Let's see what else we got here. D. Brown. This comes from Lenny. D. Brown was the other guard on that Illinois team with Deron Williams.
And Nick
D. Brown
Anderson at the forward.
Scott says Burns has already beaten Kings Mountain twice this year. If you can beat Kings Mountain once, you're usually a pretty good baseball team.
That's true.
Burns has already taken them down.
They must be good.
Twice on the season. We're going to take another time out. We appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk this morning. Back with the fourth quarter after this.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. We'll give you a hint on the trivia question. The 2 soundtracks, the highest selling soundtracks of the 90s, right? That's what you were saying?
That's what I was saying.
Both chick flicks.
Chick flicks.
Only Mike would come up with 2 chick flicks.
I like chick flicks.
Answers. So there's your hint. We got one already. Who was it guessed?
Rodney.
Rodney guessed The Bodyguard. Yep. The other one, I guess, is not really a chick flick, right?
No, it's more of an epic.
And if I recall right, John Dutton was in The Bodyguard.
Yeah. He was the bodyguard.
He was the bodyguard.
That's right.
You get that?
Yeah.
Okay, who was it? John Dutton was the bodyguard.
Kevin Costner.
There you go. Yeah.
John Dutton.
And anybody that watches Yellowstone will know who John Dutton is, right?
Yeah, I watched season 4 now through Netflix. I'm able to. I'm on season 2, so I'm trying to watch the 3 seasons I missed.
So you watched a season and now you're backtracking?
I'm backtracking.
Oh my gosh!
I'm going back to the beginning.
I would not want to do that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Just call me when you start watching Breaking Bad, because you will be calling me after every episode. You'll be texting me after every. Won't he, Brett? If he ever gets there, I don't think he'll ever watch it.
I will. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah. I'll tell you how good it is. Well, I shouldn't even say that. You can't compare it to sports. I was going to say if it was, I can only watch this or this, I would probably pick Breaking Bad, and I was going to either compare it to a Super Bowl.
Well, for me, it's
Duke in a national title game, or Red Sox in the World Series. Or
I think Seinfeld is the greatest sitcom ever, and I think Breaking Bad is the Seinfeld of TV dramas.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, and everybody's got their own opinions.
But I don't know if you love
watch
Seinfeld, so that might not
watch.
be a good,
Well, what's the famous thing about Seinfeld?
Are you too old for Seinfeld, Mike?
No, of course not. No,
Yeah, a lot. I mean,
No.
I'm just saying. When that came out, I didn't watch it when it came out that much. I watched it a little bit because a coworker of mine, he was really into it. You know, Brett, you remember Paul Hubbard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was really into it. He liked it, and he'd tell me about it after every Friday morning. I think it was on Thursday nights, and so I started watching it some just so we could talk about it. But it was like once it's syndicated and you can watch it all the time. That's when
watch it.
and it's one of those things to me. It's like Andy Griffith, where you start knowing every line before they say it. You know, so some really good comedy.
What was the thing about that show? It's a show about nothing. About nothing.
Yeah, well, they never have a plot going in. It's just
it's just their daily.
Yeah, what
their
they're
daily
doing.
routine.
Four friends.
Yeah.
And Kramer makes the show. I mean, Jerry's the great comedian. He really is. But Kramer, he don't even have to say anything. You know what I mean? I mean, he don't have to say a word, and he's hilarious. You know, but they probably couldn't have picked. You know, you can always say this about everything. They couldn't have picked a better cast. You know, to people to portray those parts. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'd like to see Jerry
Dreyfus,
do stand up. Julia
Louise Dreyfus.
Yep. Whose son played in the NCAA tournament.
Did?
Oh, there you go.
I did not know that.
Trivia.
Baby.
Who did her son play in the NCAA tournament for?
Ooh.
Oh, there we go. Any Seinfeld fans out there? Or any Julia Louise Dreyfus fans? Yes.
Julia Louis Dreyfus.
Whatever it is.
Is it Louis or Louis?
I think it's Louis.
Louis.
Which is still the greatest garage rock song of the 60s. That song's about nothing either. You can't determine the lyrics.
That's what happens when you're on LSD and you get in the garage.
I mean,
is it not?
Never have figured out what the lyrics of
nothing
Louis
yet.
Louis
I got
mean.
nothing yet on her son playing in the NCAA tournament.
What year? Can you give me something?
It had to be recent.
5 to 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Had to be for a team out west.
I'm not going to take if Mike, I just think about what she does.
Yeah.
Okay, and then kind of start putting it together. Does that help
Okay.
you any?
Yeah. Because she played, what, the president or the secretary of state?
No, it's nothing to do with what she played. It's the fact that she plays. What's her profession?
Acting.
That ought to help you narrow it down.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, that makes me think USC.
UCLA.
No.
No? Southern Cat. No, you said USC.
We have a winner, 2 of them actually.
Manhattan.
2 winners.
Columbia.
Yeah, two winners. You're on the right track now.
Oh, NYU. Don't know.
You got the first letter right.
The first letter.
I could tell you because we got people right. You said NYU. I said you got the first letter.
First
right.
letter. N. N is right.
Now we got another one coming.
Nevada.
Yeah, that's a big time acting school.
Oh boy. Got the first letter right.
Yeah. I think Charlton Heston. I may be wrong about that. Seems like he may have went there. Let's see. Mike Greenberg.
Northwestern.
Northwestern, yes. Mike Greenberg, I gave it away.
Yeah.
And it's funny, he's not even into acting.
I know.
But didn't Charlton Heston go to Northwestern? Why do I think that? Why do I think that?
Kudos to him.
I don't know. I don't even know if that's right. But
Northwestern's usually known for its
what really matters
school of journalism guys who go on to
Julia Dreyfus, because I'm not going to mention the middle name anymore because you guys tell me I'm wrong with it. So
he says Louis, I say Louis. Louis. But anyway.
I'll just go with JLD. How's that?
Yeah.
Did I get the initials right or not?
Scholar Elaine.
Elaine. Yeah, her son played for Northwestern in the NCAA tournament. You guys don't remember it? She was in the crowd every time.
Yeah.
Who was the coach for
Vaguely.
Northwestern then?
Who was the coach for Northwestern then? Charlton Heston.
Well, it's Chris Collins now. It could have been Chris Collins then. I don't know.
I think it probably
I don't know how long ago it was, but he's been there for
a long time.
6 or 8
never
years.
Never resurrected the program, did he?
We never did get our.
No, and I don't even know if he's still there.
We never did get our second soundtrack though on Mike Powell's music.
Yeah. What's the second soundtrack, guys? Anybody out there?
Yeah, the soundtracks were the 2 top selling soundtracks of the '90s.
That's
right?
exactly right.
Okay, that's what your question
that's
is. What were the 2? And somebody got one of them with it was Rodney, right?
Rodney got the bodyguard.
With the bodyguard.
And I got the other one before we came back on the air.
Yeah,
you got it. Off
Brett
the air.
got it off the air, so we'll give the listeners a little bit of.
Now, Forrest Gump had the greatest soundtrack of the '90s.
Rodney says
wasn't the
Titanic
best
with a question mark.
He-
Anybody want to give him an answer?
He is absolutely correct.
Titanic.
The heart must go on, or will go on. Celine Dion.
Now, I know this is a sports show, and we get into a little bit of everything. And we, do you know who John Charles Carter is?
John Charles Carter.
Yeah, just wondering if you knew who John Charles.
Is he on WBTV?
John Carter was on BT.
Yep. Northwestern. I was right. This guy went to Northwestern. So there's your hint.
He's an actor.
Yeah. John Charles Carter is.
That's Charlie, John Charlie Carter.
Well, he's passed now, and that's why I'm asking. Same guy I just mentioned a little bit ago.
John Charles Carter.
Charlton Heston.
Okay.
Charlton Heston did go to Northwestern, and I have no idea why I knew that or why that stuck in my mind that he went to Northwestern. But a lot of good. I mean, it's one of the higher academic schools in the country.
It is.
No
question.
Yep. You have Stanford, you got Northwestern, you got Duke,
and then of course the Ivy League.
The Ivy Leagues up north, and
don't forget Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Yep. Vanderbilt. What happened to Vanderbilt yesterday? Why was Vanderbilt in the news yesterday? I saw Vanderbilt on TV yesterday.
Close game. They played Kentucky pretty good.
That's what it was. And their coach is
Stackhouse.
Yes,
Stackhouse.
Jerry Stackhouse.
And they have Scottie Pippen's son.
Scott,
one of their better.
And didn't they say he was
players.
leading scorer in the conference?
No.
Did I hear that?
He probably is.
Maybe
I've seen,
for 2 years
I've
running.
seen a lot of big games.
Maybe for 2 years running, leading scorer in the conference. Is he
why
built
was-
like Scotty? Is he? I haven't.
I don't know.
wouldn't him if
I don't
saw
know.
him.
Yeah,
Is
I
he
hadn't.
built like Scotty?
I hadn't seen him play.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't seen in a while. Is
I don't get why we were supposed to think of Northwestern
Vanderbilt athletics
in relation to Julia Louis Dreyfus.
acting. A lot of actors go
Acting.
there.
Yeah.
That's all. Just a lot of actors have come out of there.
Well, a lot of broadcasters.
Is that?
too.
Yeah, they
Because
do.
I thought
They do.
either an L.A. school or a New York
Yeah.
school
Me too.
because I would think that's where she would live.
Juilliard in New York.
Yeah, I
He
always
played
thought,
for
I always thought
Juilliard.
that she would probably live in L.A. or somewhere like that.
Yep.
But
Then a lot of
Do they have
actors'
a big,
kids
they
go
have a big
to
acting
USC.
program? Is that? I mean, is that why that Northwestern?
I don't know.
is, evidently they do. I mean,
I've always associated them with journalism, broadcast journalism, Greenberg, Mike.
And I think of
Wilbon.
it as like people that work on Wall Street and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What are they called? Wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves.
Wolves of Wall
The
Street.
Wolves of
The
Wall-
wolf, the wolf
Yeah.
of Wall Street.
Now, just for the record, okay. First of all, let's move on to this, and I'm gonna let Brett and
Well,
Mike
my
talk about it
second
while it's
favorite
something up.
Scorsese movie.
Is
Wolf
it?
of Wall Street. Yeah. Second to
It's
Goodfellas.
interesting. It's just, well, it's so many. Goodfellas is number one without question. After that, I struggle. Raging Bull.
Still really like Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, The Departed. God, there's so many.
Yeah, I didn't love. I liked The Departed. I didn't love
Yeah, I
it.
didn't love it. I don't think it was his best gangster film.
But The Wolf of Wall Street is just—it's a little different
It is. It's
than those other ones.
Well, here's Northwestern. Okay,
Name me a famous actor other than Heston who went to.
and Margaret,
Did Ashton Kutcher go to Northwestern?
Warren Beatty,
Okay, you got it.
Richard Benjamin.
Wow.
Some of these names
So
you may know, and
actors
I
over
don't.
100 years old.
Here's
went
one
to
I wouldn't
Northwestern.
claim: Stephen Colbert.
Colbert went to Northwestern. Okay.
Let's see.
He also tried out for SNL at the age of 25 and didn't make
You
it.
may know these: Lorraine Cole, Stephanie D. Abruzzo. Don't know. It's got her picture there. Greg Edelman, Ron Manuel, Debbie Feynman.
So they must have a school of acting, obviously.
Yeah, that was.
Or school of theater arts. Or
Yep.
something.
There is a long list of, and they're in alphabetical order. Do you know Richard Kind? You would know him if you saw his picture.
I know the
because-
name.
Yeah, Tony nominated actor, The Big Knife, as I see his picture, I know the guy. I've seen him in stuff. I would have never guessed his name, though, as being Richard Kind. Guess who's on here?
Oh, no,
Julia Louise. It's got an S. That's all I can tell you. Dreyfus, and she's no kin to Richard.
Nope.
I don't guess. That's probably spelled differently. Seth Meyers. How about Seth Meyers going to Northwestern?
Wow, yeah.
I know you know that one, Brett.
SNL, then his own talk show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wouldn't really call him an actor.
Yeah, David Schwimmer.
God.
Yeah, no, he's an actor.
He's an actor.
He's a friend, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Kimberly Williams Paisley. Anybody know who that is? I know exactly who that
I
is.
do not.
She was on a sitcom a while back, but she is the wife of Brad Paisley, the country music
Country music icon.
singer. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Northwestern's got a who's who.
Pleasing on the eyes.
Yeah. So's Dreyfus, or she used to be. I really liked her in National Lampoon Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. Here's let's see. I'm going to get in. Here's what we got to talk about before we go off there. You know what goes on today? We've been talking so much about the NCAA tournament.
State high school
Exactly.
basketball championship.
Exactly. The North Carolina High School State Championships get underway today in Chapel Hill and Raleigh. And let's see, we're going to give you the rundown real quick. I'll probably check out, I know Brett will, a few of these on the website.
They'll be streamed live
Today.
I guess.
Always are.
Always are.
Some of them may be on Channel 18 today.
Oh, yeah.
So you may want to check that out. Some of these games might, especially the West Charlotte game. I would.
That one in Weddington. If any
Yeah.
are on, you'd think those two would be on. And West
Weddington
Charlotte
has
plays
not
at
lost
12.
in over 2 years, right? Weddington, and they moved up from 3A to 4A, and they've still not lost in over 2 years. 1A is Birdie and Bishop McGinnis women, and Chatham Charter and Hayesville men.
Yep.
In 2A, it's Farmville Central, shocker there, right? Taking on Salisbury, and that's the women.
Yeah.
You look at the men, and it's Farmville Central taking on J.M. Robinson. I'll give you 20 in J.M. Robinson. And J.M. Robinson is a good team, but I'll give you 20 in that one. Farmville
I'll take
Central's
20.
on another level.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to cut to 19. You took that off quick. 3A, the women, is Northwood versus Inca. How about your Sugar Jets, Mike?
Love it.
I think they're 500 now. Are they not, Brett? Like 15
What
and
a run.
15?
I think they're 2 games over 500.
Two
I hope
games
they
over.
completed with
I
the
saw them
state
play
title.
last.
Entered the
last weekend.
playoffs under. They entered. Yeah, you're probably right because they were 11 and 14, and they had to win 5 to get here.
Yeah.
So they would be
Yeah.
2 games over.
So what did you think, Brett? You saw.
Oh, they're good, and they got size. Their guards are big. They beat North Davidson last Saturday.
That's a team that destroyed East.
And
Beat East by
They were
10.
just so much bigger at every position than North Davidson. North Davidson had a girl that was scoring close to 30 a game.
Right.
She probably ended up with 18 or so, but they really kept her in check. I mean, she had a tough time. Most of her points came off of free throws. She just couldn't, she tried to get in the lane, couldn't really score. Inca's good. I don't know how they lost that many games.
Yeah.
Could be injuries.
Yeah.
Could be
Yeah.
just sit in jail.
Start 5 freshmen.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Roger also got Northwestern. I don't know if I mentioned that a while ago, but he said Northwestern on JLD. He also says West Charlotte and the Robinson games both are on WCCB Channel 18. One at noon. And
Yeah,
one
that's
at
West Charlotte
2:30.
is at noon.
One at noon and one at 2:30. So they're on early today. Lenny Anthony says, I think the man himself went to Northwestern. The man himself. When you think of NFL football pregame shows, Who's the first name comes to mind? NFL
James Brown.
pregame show. The beginning of them.
James Brown.
The beginning of them.
Oh. Irv Cross.
You're close.
Well,
The man. The man.
the man. Oh, Brent Musburger.
The man.
Of course. Wow.
Northwestern.
What a who's who
Yeah.
of grads, of
Yeah.
alums.
Yep. Yep.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Which high
Well, didn't Mike Wilbon go to
He did.
Northwestern?
Mike
he did.
Wilbon with the
And Mike
Northwestern.
Greenberg, you already said
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like he said, now they have a terrific journalism.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, a lot of ESPN guys.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots. Syracuse does too, actually.
They do.
Syracuse produced a lot
Yeah.
of,
Got a big school.
of broadcast journalists.
Got a big
Yeah.
school of journalism too. It's well known.
Tarico might have went to
Could be.
Syracuse. I'm trying to remember who were some of the ones that did go to Syracuse, but yep, they crank them out too. So, but but yeah, that's interesting to know about Northwestern. A lot of big names there on the front. For some reason, the rundown of the state championship games that I received a couple days ago don't include their records. And I was just wondering, do you know, Brett? Is there anybody that's undefeated?
Weddington.
Where do you know?
Yeah, I guess so. I just said they hadn't lost.
Yeah.
Is that the only team? That's a boys' team. Or do we have any?
Hayesville. 27.
Hayesville.
Yeah,
Hazel's
Hazel is.
undefeated?
Yeah, they are.
And Hayesville got the big win last week. You know, they beat Winston-Salem Prep by 6, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
So happy about that.
Yeah. And it's good to see Hayesville. I mean, you know,
It is.
1A school that's
Sure.
a true 1A
True
school
1A
right on the
school.
Georgia-North Carolina border out there that,
right.
you know, doesn't get a lot of recognition all the time, but from time to time they're good in
And they're
football
not really
and basketball.
known as a like you say, a school
Perennial
that-
power.
Yeah, and they probably don't bring in 5 new players every year.
Wait,
Like,
they probably do, but it's called freshmen.
they call freshmen.
Are they?
They actually live there.
They're not the one that has a really small enrollment number, are they?
Could be. Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like 100?
It may. Hiawassee Dam is.
That might be who I'm
is-
thinking
Yeah,
about.
I think Hayes
Hiawassee
probably got more
Dam
than
is.
that.
Somebody used to
probably
have under 100, but they would still.
still compete.
Yeah.
I think that's Hiawassee Dam that
Yeah,
you'd
I think
see.
You're right.
I've actually been past that school, and yeah, it's about the size of this building.
Yeah, I know Cherville's.
I'm talking about the whole building together, but still, for a high school,
Yeah.
it's not very big.
I know Cherville's had to go up there a couple times in baseball and basketball.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the enrollment at Hayesville is, but we do know this. If I had to guess, I'd say 400
400
or under.
Very small one.
Yeah, but it's not as small as enrollment as Winston-Salem Prep, though, is it?
No, they're down in the hundreds, right?
Yeah. I think last time I checked, they were 100 and something.
What was the school on the East Coast that had about 25 students or something? I'm trying to remember. I don't know.
Wilson Prep? No, you're not talking about that. I don't know. Is Wilson Prep not? Did they get knocked
They
out,
must have
Brett?
got knocked
That's who
out.
Chatham Charter
Okay.
beat. Chatham Charter.
That's
is-
hard to say. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Chatham Charter,
33
and 1.
Wow,
33-1.
pretty
and play
impressive.
they play Hayesville, who's 28-0.
Yeah.
Yep. Eddington was not good here for the paper. I've got Chatham Charter. Every team had their nickname on there. I just took the nicknames off to save some space.
Yeah.
And it said that Chatham Charter versus Hayesville Yellow. I forgot to take off yellow.
Pretty good.
I guess they're the Yellow Jackets.
Yellow
Do you know any other name that could come after Yellow?
Yellow bellies.
In
No,
a
that's
sports
not it.
in a sports
Yellow Bears.
the Yellow Bears. At one time, Michael will remember the Gaudy Yellow Bunch,
That's right.
but I do not remember the.
It might be Lincoln baseball now.
That's Lincoln
Yes, it
baseball
is.
now,
If
the
you see the
gaudy yellow.
uniforms, yeah, the Gaudy Yellow, God Awful Yellow, whatever.
Well, you know, it was the legendary Von Ray Harris that came up with that little phrase, the gaudy yellow.
Was it? I thought it was your guy from the Gazette.
Was it?
I thought it was Dean.
Dean Lohman?
Was it Loman?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He came up with it. Okay.
For
Not
some
Von Ray.
reason, I thought that's what
Could be.
Richard Smith had told me at one time. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
We'll see. Only a wordsmith, only a sports
A
writer.
wordsmith.
How many nicknames have sports writers come up with that stuck? I mean,
Yeah.
it's been
Well,
a
that
lot.
one stuck for a long time, but it's gone now. But
the Sultan of SWAT,
they
Babe
didn't.
Ruth. That's famous. Obviously, that was a newspaper nickname.
I like the Sultan of Swing with, yeah. Let's say he said it was the Gazette. Scott Cloninger said it was the Gazette.
It was the Gazette.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean Loman. I remember Dean.
Yep. Gaudy yellow
Gaudy
is what
yellow.
What he put in there at that
An
one time.
attack of the gaudy yellow.
Lenny says, speaking of James Brown, he was the starting point guard at Harvard. Okay, this is not woo. I feel good, James
Yeah,
Brown.
so
This is
James Brown on
yes.
football.
He was a starting point guard at Harvard. How many pounds ago was that? And
Few.
I liked it, and was heavily recruited
Yeah.
by Lefty Driesell
Why?
at Maryland in the early 70s. That's a now. I
That's
like to start with
trivia.
a did you know? That's a good did you know
Good
right there,
trivia
Lenny.
question.
James Brown was a starting point guard at Harvard and was heavily
Okay.
recruited by Lefty Driesell at Maryland in the early
Here's one.
70s.
Can Lenny or anybody out there name the great Maryland player who flipped his decision?
Len Elmore,
No. And he ended up at Maryland after being,
Tom McMillan.
it was.
I don't even know the rest of the question, but you said great Maryland player, and I was starting with
Well,
my era when I
he
first
committed
remember.
to North Carolina, originally.
Tom McMillan committed to North Carolina. Where's he from?
I don't know, but North Carolina had him, and then boom, he flips to Maryland.
Right.
And the rest is history, I guess.
Why is it history? They didn't win anything.
No, but
They should
they
have,
had
though.
probably the best team that never made the NCAA tournament in
Yeah.
history.
Oh, yeah, I would have to agree with that.
My
No doubt
God,
about
look,
that. To
I
not
mean,
make the tournament.
How many pros were
Because
on
of
that
the way it
team
was
that
done.
lost to NC State?
Yeah, they
My God.
they had
Mo Rivers,
Maurice.
Maurice.
They had Maurice somebody on,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Mo
And
Rivers. No, Mo Rivers.
Rivers
was
State,
That's
yeah.
right. John Lucas.
John Lucas was exceptional.
Len Elmore.
Yeah,
Tom
Len Elmore.
McMillan.
They always had a couple of really good white shooters.
They did.
Dutch Morley.
Yeah.
Is that a little later, though? Do you remember Dutch Morley?
I don't.
Do you not? Lenny, you remember Dutch Morley?
I remember that
Was he a little later than I know Brett don't remember Dutch Morley. Brad, somebody had a Brad, somebody that could really
Oh,
shoot it too. A little
yeah.
blonde-headed guy
Blonde-headed
that
guy,
could nail him
Brad.
from the corner.
He could nail them. Yeah,
Yeah, Brad. God, what was his
Can't think of
name?
His name either.
Yeah, that was. I do remember that Maryland.
Was that
team.
lefty? Was that
it
a lefty
very,
team?
Yeah.
Or
Tom
Gary
McMillan
Williams?
was. Tom McMillan was from Mansfield, Pennsylvania, says Lenny. Steve K says the Sports Writer Gazette is when they were playing Hunter Huss, and Steve K says Brad Davis was the Brad
That's it.
that I'm trying to name, and
Brad
that is
Davis.
exactly right, Brad
Yeah,
Davis.
that's
Now,
right.
now who's the other guy? Just Dutch Morley. Do you remember Dutch Morley? I got to remember Dutch Morley. A name like that.
Yeah,
Dutch
how could
Morley.
you forget Dutch?
Yeah, yeah. That
The only Dutch I
Maryland-
know is Dutch Leonard.
You know, honestly, those Maryland teams were loaded too. And then when Gary Williams came along, he got them back to that excellence for
He
a
did,
while.
for a while.
With the one that just what was the guy's name that just gave Duke
They
fits
just
over
destroyed
and
Duke.
over and
Yeah.
over.
You're talking about Grievous Vasquez.
Oh, he
but
was
it
so good.
It was
He was
Steve
so good.
Blake and Juan
Blake.
Dixon before that.
Yep, one Dixon.
When they won their
Brett and I
title.
saw Juan Dixon. You may have been with us, Mike, in the tournament. We saw him in person, and I swear he looked like he was 5'8", 140.
Yeah.
He looked so small, but played bigger.
Who was that
Played
big
bigger.
guy? He was only 6'6", but he played in the post for Maryland. He's the guy that just destroyed Duke every time.
Yes. Who was that, Brett?
Johnson.
Big guy in the middle.
He didn't look like a center at
Excellent,
all.
excellent post player.
Yeah, he just got great position. He was strong.
Scott says the reason Tom McMillan flipped schools was his mother called him using Dean Smith. Something card to call Tom Burleson to
That's
come
right.
to Carolina.
That's
So he was
right.
trying to get Burleson to come to Carolina.
That's right.
And then, that's different. That's some.
Is that
that's some
illegal?
Interesting. I don't know. And it says he flipped schools. We would never even use that term
No,
back
we
then.
never used it then.
That he flipped schools
Flipped
back
schools.
then. Brad Davis from Momnack, Pennsylvania, says Lenny.
Yeah.
And
Think of that front line, Tom McMillan.
I still want to know who the big guy is that you're talking about just a couple years ago from Maryland. He dominated in the paint, and he was a 4-year guy. Who was it, Brett? He was just
John something.
big. Yeah, first thing came to my mind was Herman Veal, but it wasn't Herman Veal.
Herman
It was a lot
Veal.
later than that. You remember him too, right?
him too.
We're out of time. We've enjoyed it. A trip down memory lane here. Watch those high school championships today and all the college basketball that you can handle. For Mike, Brad, I'm David.
You.
See you next week.